How's it going, guys? I'm Chase Lee, and welcome back for another movie review. And on today's slate, I'm going to be reviewing Carol, the Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara fueled movie that's directed by Todd Haynes. It's getting a lot of Oscar buzz. So what do I think about it? Okay, this is going to be tough. Technically, as a movie, maybe excluding a few like story points here and there that I didn't really care for, I think this is like almost a damn perfect movie. I know it's weird, but I'm not going to give it a high grade. There's no way you can give this movie below a B or I guess that would be like a 4 out of 5 or something. I don't know. Whatever your rating system is, I firmly believe this movie should not be rated anything below a B, because this movie on a filmmaking and technical level is outstanding, and the performances are outstanding. The music is engrossing. But I guess if you're not invested emotionally like I was, you might have your issues. All right, so here we go. Let's get real and break this down. Let's get into the directing and the writing. Now, it's directed, like I said, by Todd Haynes, and he delivers one of the most accurate portrayals of the 50s I've seen on film in quite some time. Like, from everything from the art design, the costumes, and the production design, it just looks so authentic. And it looks like it's a movie plucked out of the 50s and thrown into 2015. That's how good it is. And he really captures that essence and that era. And I love that about this movie. That's one of the biggest praises about this movie. Writing-wise, the writing is fine, and I don't think it's like anything miraculous or spectacular, but it does feel the characters along, and it does have some really great, poignant moments for these characters and their realizations for their love for each other. Because the one thing I will say about the love in this movie between Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara is that it's very tender, and you can feel the love, no pun intended, but you can feel the love and you can feel the passion between these two. But for me, emotionally invested, I was not, and that's where my problem is. For me personally, I could see what was happening on screen, and I could see that Rooney Mara and Cate Blanchett were fighting their love for each other because of the era that it's in and how it was not accepted and stuff, because they have to accept what society accepts of them, not what they want for themselves. I could see the love that was happening on screen. But for me personally, I couldn't get emotionally invested into it. I know it's weird. I don't know if it was because I saw it late at night or what was going on. But for me personally, I could not get invested into their relationship themselves, even though I can fully tell you that the performances were out of this world. So writing and directing-wise, very, very strong. But those would be my only cons. It's just a personal thing. Acting-wise, like I said, Cate Blanchett is killer in this movie. She's always good. I've always loved her. She's very heartbreaking in some scenes, and she's fighting. She has a daughter, and she's married. To her husband, played by Kyle Chandler, who's I've always liked him in everything. But she's conflicted with that, and her conflicted with their actual love with Rooney Mara, and Rooney Mara is in a relationship, which I never really bought. That's the other thing. She has a relationship with a guy as well, and I just never really bought that, and it just maybe because that was the whole point. She wasn't emotionally invested, so I wasn't either. So maybe I'll give it a pass for that. But the performances from both Rooney and Cate are out of this world. They're very tender and heartbreaking and very touching, and it just makes you realize, in this crazy screwed up world, there are people out there who actually love someone for who they are, and they love them as a person. They don't think about gender, race, or whatever. They love them for who they are. It's just people loving people, and that's just it's touching. I love it. But the acting is all around very, very good. I love Kyle Chandler. He's a great supporting cast to this. I don't really care for Jake Lacy that much. Listen, I like him in The Office. I think he did what he could in the last season of The Office, but all the films I've seen him in, for some weird reason, I just can't accept him. I can't. I think he's a very talented individual, and I think he is doing well in these movies. I can't buy him into any role thus far. But like I said, it's just a personal thing. Cinematography-wise, this movie looks beautiful. Like I said, when you consider the props, the costume, the art direction, the production design, all of that, and you encompass it in this glowing cinematography. It looks like it's glowing with this glow around it that you would see from a 50s movie, like that. I don't know what to call it, like the cinematic glow or the touch. It just looks like it's so old school in the way it's shot as well, that like I said, I felt like I was in a time capsule watching something from 60, 70 years ago. That's how impressive the cinematography is. It's beautiful. And Rooney Mara's character, she takes photographs, and I felt like she took photographs of this entire movie because that's how well it was shot. So editing wise, this movie's 2 hours long. Regardless of me feeling emotionally invested into the characters and their relationship, it's still a well-paced movie. I had no problem with that. It was paced very nicely. It opens up with the end of the movie, but kind of really hiding the feelings and stuff and how they felt for each other. And then we flash back to the beginning and we see how everything got started. So I think it's a well-paced movie, and I was invested in the technical side of it and how well it was, the rhythm was. But for me personally, guys, I couldn't get into the relationship, and maybe I'm cynical. I don't know, but it just didn't really work for me. It was just an average love story. But I ain't gonna rate it anything below a B because of the technical achievements that are in this, including the art direction, props, costume design, production design, acting. All that's very, very good. It's just an emotional thing for me. So with that being said, I'm going to give Carol a B+. So I still would highly recommend to see this, especially since it's going to be considered for Oscars and stuff. But for me, I don't need to see it again. I think it's a well-made movie, and it, besides a few story elements, I think it's actually a pretty perfect movie. But just the investment side for me is where I couldn't get into. So have you seen Carol? Have you even heard of it? Comment in the place below, put my face, and let me know. And as always, guys, I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. Lesbian love is in the air. And it was pretty damn tender to watch. It was heartbreaking. I almost cried a little bit. I'll see you guys later. Oh, man. Carol. Man, that must have sucked for the 50s. All right. I'll see you guys later.